This is my PowerPoint. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Imagine this, a child's innocent face filled with confusion and fear as their tiny hand reaches out, hoping for love and guidance. But instead, they are met with a hand that strikes, leaving behind not just physical marks but emotional scars. In the past, spanking was a commonly accepted practice, but as our understanding of child development and effective disciplinary techniques has grown, it's become clear that spanking is not the best approach. Today, I want to talk about this topic that has been a subject of debate for quite some time. Is spanking an acceptable form of discipline? The answer is no. Spanking is not only ineffective, but it can also be harmful as it can lead to negative outcome in the child's emotional well-being and overall development. First and foremost, spanking is a form of physical punishment that can cause harm to a child. It can lead to physical pain, injuries, and long-lasting emotional trauma. The act of striking a child's body can cause immediate discomfort, leaving behind marks, bruises, and other injuries. Even with the intention of discipline, spanking can escalate to unintended harm. According to the World Health Organization, all corporal punishment, however mild or light, carries an inbuilt risk of escalation. Studies suggest that parents who use corporal punishment are at a higher risk of performing severe maltreatment. According to Justin K. Scott, spanking has been considered a public health issue. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have stated that reducing spanking is key to preventing physical abuse in children. The force applied during spanking can vary, which can makes us lose control of the force exerted when spanking. This increases the likelihood of intended injuries, such as cuts, sprains, and fractures. Furthermore, research has consistently shown that spanking is ineffective in behavior change. Sarah Graham Berman says that physical punishment can work momentarily to stop bad behavior, but it does not work long term. It can work because children are scared of being hit, but it doesn't work in the long term, and it can make children more aggressive over time. While it may temporarily stop bad behavior, it fails to teach them the necessary skills to understand why their behavior was inappropriate. Negative side effect studies have shown the negative side effects associated with spanking. As cited by Christopher Ferguson, psychologist Alan Kasten claimed that spanking is linked with a host of negative outcomes ranging from aggression, poor academic performance, and depression in childhood to poor physical health, such as cancer, heart disease, and chronic respiratory disease in adulthood. This contradicts the purpose of discipline, as spanking can inadvertently cause bad behavior instead of reinforcing good behavior. Another crucial point to consider is that spanking has the potential to escalating violence. When we resort to physical punishment, we are teaching children that using violence to solve problems is acceptable. According to the American Psychological Association, research has shown that to a considerable extent, children learn by imitating the behavior of adults, especially the ones that they are closest to. The use of corporal punishment by adults having authority over children trains children that using physical violence can work to solve problems, instead of using education, intelligence, and rational reinforcement. If a child grows up in a violent and abusive home, they might internalize this behavior as normal and continue to use it in their personal lives as an adult. This can perpetuate a cycle of violence which can cause harm in the future. Moreover, spanking can damage parent and children relationships. Instead of building trust and open communication, spanking creates fear and resentment. Spanking sends a message of fear that ruins the development of a strong and deep connection between parents and children. The American Psychological Association says that because physical discipline is painful and parents are the source of this pain, physical discipline may reduce the quality of the parent-child relationship. Children may exhibit greater levels of mistrust and avoidance of parents who rely on physical discipline, which makes the children less likely to develop a strong attachment with those parents and ultimately become less receptive to the parents' positive socialization efforts. This trend can persist into later years and can stay like that until adulthood. As parents and future parents, it is our responsibility to search alternative approaches to prioritize love, understanding, and open communication. By doing so, we can build a stronger bridge instead of walls, fostering a deep, lasting love with our children. Let us choose nurturing over punishment and watch our relationships flourish. This leads me to my final point. There are numerous of alternative discipline techniques that can be more respectful and effective. First off, positive reinforcement. This method involves acknowledging and rewarding the good behavior of children. By praising and acknowledging their efforts, children are more motivated and encouraged to behave well. Positive reinforcement focuses on building and fostering good relationships between parents. Next up, setting clear boundaries is essential. Children need to know what's expected of them and the consequences of not doing what's expected of them. By setting clear rules and expectations, children understand the limits and can make better choices. Lastly, timeouts can be useful too. Instead of resorting to violence, a timeout gives children a chance to think about their mistake, reflect on their actions, and make better choices. It provides a moment for both the parent and the child to clear out their mind and think about what they can do better. Remember, discipline should be about teaching and guiding, not about instilling fear or causing harm. By utilizing all of these methods, we can create a nurturing environment for our children to thrive in. In conclusion, it is clear that spanking is not an acceptable form of discipline. Not only can it cause harm physically, but it can also escalate to an intended harm and damage the parent-child relationship. Spanking is ineffective in teaching children proper behavior and can actually make them more aggressive over time. Additionally, it can make negative side effects on a child's mental health. Fortunately, there are numerous of alternative methods that do not require physical aggression. Positive reinforcement, setting clear boundaries, and using timeouts are examples of effective and respective disciplinary methods. By embracing these alternative techniques, we can create a nurturing and supporting environment for children where discipline is about teaching and guiding rather than causing harm. Let us choose love and respect over fear and aggression for the sake of our children and the future they deserve. Thank you.